Congratulations, Ghost Festival! You escaped the F tier! Now, go outside and play with the other non-F tier events while I talk about you in details. Let's talk about the things I like about this event, and later cover what I don't. Starting off with reward quality. If you take a look at what we had the past 2 years, we had to deal with 3.5 times larger progress bars for the main event, with some less than desirable rewards for this amount of grind. Considering a single boss run on Bloodshed takes 50 seconds for an endgame character, for a measly 400 progress without a tire, this would mean over 1400 runs on Bloodshed. Consider this: 14,000 infernal passages, 34,000 realm fragments, and nearly 20-hour grind. All for this? In comparison, nowadays the bars can be done in just over 400 runs on Bloodshed, assuming your pair of 3-hour tires gets completely wasted. In fact, at this point the bars were not the limiting factor for how many runs I would do. It was in fact the grind for the new autumn runes. And for the first time this year, I can say those runes were executed right. These runes have a bonus that clearly makes them stand out, as they help boost the ever-increasing demand of Undermounts. As for how they got delivered, the method seems rather scuffed at first, but ultimately more balanced than every other concentrated rune so far. You're guaranteed to get one free rune with daily quest, full main event, and full mini event. And depending on your RNG with the berry bush and the tires, it is highly likely you will get 2 more for a total of 3 free runes by just doing exactly what the event asks you to. I had this weird luck where I got more vouchers on my mage, where I actively farmed the mini event for the jewel, but was just short of 3 free runes on my ranger where I didn't. And while the runes are not extremely necessary, since damage and move speed are only here for stat flexing and small speed increase in PvE, you have the option to spend Undermounts for a chance of getting to the coveted 5 runes on the first event. When comparing this to the other concentrated runes, this feels like the most accurate, but not completely accurate, approach to the concentrated runes. Winter runes are old and thus made way too easy to get. You can literally get one with Daken during anniversary, and one for free from codes. Meanwhile, spring runes are extremely difficult to get, as you always have to rely on extremely small chances to get it, though at least you can get it all year long. Summer runes are both less powerful than the former mentioned runes, except for the one person that runs max block built in PvE, I suppose, and more difficult to get, since you always get one per summer festival, and after that you have limited chances to have a small probability of getting one, while also needing Undermounts for that. And to recap the autumn runes, you can expect to get 3 runes for free, with the option of spending several 100,000 Undermounts for the last 2. That said, while the bar change in Autumn Rune Edition made the event this much better, there are still several glaring issues when it comes to event structure, and most of them have to do with the mini event. The mini event requires roughly 160 runs on Bloodshed, where each run took me about 2.5 minutes to complete on my own. This has resulted in close to 6.5 hours of farming strictly the mini event, which is comparable to the 6 hours I spent with the free attires farming vouchers. Of course, those 6.5 hours are a lot more manageable, since unlike with the attires, I don't have to do them 3 hours at a time. However, the total length of the mini event scales a lot if you don't do Bloodshed difficulty. Something that was never taken into consideration when the mini event was adjusted was the resource cost per run. Regardless of difficulty, you always have to pay 50 ghost fires to be able to access the boss part of the map for 30 minutes at a time. And also, You always have to spend 30 life force to progress to the boss fight stage, and sometimes even more than that. So if you do the event on Merciless difficulty, you will not only need more entries, but also you have to spend even more time farming life force. The problem here is that life force does not drop from the main event until the mini event begins. So in reality, on top of the 6.5 hours spent for the 106 turns of the mini event, I also have to spend additional time farming life force at the start of the event for the first runs until Attire, as well as additional life force for the last runs. Well, this was just a few minutes of farm since you get 20 life force per run on Merciless. What wasn't the short farm was the entries. The entries for the castle are extremely easy to get. Just go to Tabel and convert your realm fragments. But entries to the Darkwood path are extremely tedious to grind. In fact, it is faster to just farm blood chests and spend upwards of 45,000 Endermounts to get however many entries you need to complete the event. The combination of lacking life force drops and general struggle with farming remedies for the Darkwood path prevent me from saying this event did everything right. Also, I was made aware that the event weapon and offhand received a buff, increasing their base effect damage bonus from 15% to 50%. However, as of November 16, 2024, the buff is only theoretical and doesn't actually work in-game. A personal problem I have with most, if not all, event changes in 2024 is that the way you progress an event never gets looked at. The problem is apparent in Infested Sewers and Ghost Festival, where you are told you can farm ingredients to make event-related stuff, but it is so slow to get that you should just do it with Endermounts if you don't want to start growing grey hair from just playing the game. I'm trying to decide what tier I should give Ghost Festival after all the improvements from last year's F tier standing, but it has been quite a struggle. As such, I made a poll yesterday to get some of your opinions. I haven't seen the final results as of writing the script, but as for myself, I'm trying to decide between B and C tier. I like that the event provides value not just with the progress bars, but also with the additional ability to get the new runes, but I really dislike the mini event imbalance. If I have to take into account whether I like the map design, I think Darkwood Path is really nice on the ice, but the creepy castle makes me feel like I'm underwater, which doesn't feel very nice. Is the event fun for me to play? Absolutely not. What fun is there in sitting in front of a bush trying to get 8 raspberries? Come on. With that, I think it's safe for me to put it in C tier. I should compile all events that ran in 2024 into a tier list before the year is over, and by then I will probably shuffle some events around. So if you disagree right now, tell me why and I may reconsider. For now, thank you for watching until the end and see you next time.